Hey everyone, it's Blockchain Bernie here with my latest episode. And this one is about gas fees, right? It sounds so weird, like gas. What is gas? I mean, I need gas in my car, but on a blockchain, what is it? So I'm going to explain to you what gas fees are in blockchains, why they are needed, and why transactions cost money. So if you want to know everything about it, please watch this video all the way to the end. And also, please give me that like button. I know it's a little bit of work, but it really, really helps me out. It helps the YouTube algorithm. It helps get the word out to more people. So thanks in advance. All right. So gas fees, it just means these public smart contract platforms that I'm talking about, right? So those are some of these crypto blockchain project that you've heard about. Ethereum, Avalanche, Solana, Polygon, all these platforms, they can run code on a public blockchain. That means this public blockchain has validators. In many cases, thousands of validators. Solana, the chain that I know best, because we're building Xandeum and we're using the Solana code base to do that. In the case of Solana, we have 2,200 validators, right? They all need to validate each and every transaction. They need to buy hardware. In the case of Solana, really, really fast hardware, because Solana is the fastest blockchain in the world. They need to be in data centers, and in good data centers to have lots of capacity there and lots of bandwidth there, right? So, and they need to be operated 24/7. If something happens, they need to get brought up again. They need to be updated all the time with the latest version of the software and all these type of things. So these people that operate the validators, they provide real work and they use real resources in the world, and that just costs money, right? So then now everyone that runs code on that blockchain has to pay for that transaction, right? And it can be quite high, as in the case of Ethereum. There it starts at like $10 to $20 and it can easily be like $200, $500 just to run one single transaction on the Ethereum chain. On Solana, it's mostly like a fraction of a cent, but it's still, you still pay for every transaction, because that's the way the validators get compensated for providing their work, for providing the hardware, for keeping the software up to date, and all these type of things. So it's as simple as that, right? And how do these rates, how are those rates being determined? Well, it's by supply and demand, right? If there's a high demand of running transactions, but there is a low supply because, let's say, the chain is slow, as in the case of Ethereum, they cannot process like thousands of transactions each and every second, right? So that just means the validators can pick and choose, right? If in that second, that specific second from now to now, right, they can only process 15 transactions or 150 transactions or whatever the case might be, and they cannot do more in Ethereum, but they have like 500 transactions that want to run. They can pick and choose, and if you don't bid enough in fees, in gas fees, they just won't run your transaction. They just say, "Oh, there's Tom. I mean, Tom is, he's bidding me 10 times as much, and I'll just use Tom's transaction and run it on my chain. And yeah, no, Bernie, I don't want yours, right?" So that's how these gas fees are being made, and it happen. It changes each and every second with supply and demand, which is a great way to do things. And yeah, these transactions cost money. So now, one more thing, right? One more thing. It's not only about running your code, it's also about storing data, right? Because each and every app you have on the blockchain, it needs to store something, right? It needs to store your balance of your wallets, and it might want to store more stuff because we want to have more and more advanced applications running on the blockchain. Storage is super expensive on these chains, right? I mentioned Ethereum and Solana as there's a big difference in the gas fees, but if you want to store stuff in the account system, and that's the only storage that's available, right? There's the Solana accounts and Ethereum account system, and this data is stored on chain, which means each and every validator has to keep it in memory, basically, right? And that makes it super expensive. Just to store a gigabyte costs you $500 million to store it on chain on Ethereum. 1 gigabyte. What is that for a decentralized app? It's nothing, right? You most likely need a terabyte, right? Which would be $500 billion on Ethereum, right? And it's just going to be 150 million, that terabyte on Solana. You know, it almost sounds cheap, but it's still unaffordable to store just a terabyte. You get a terabyte drive these days for $68, right? And yeah, so that's why these transactions cost money. And it really, really becomes a problem when looking at storage, because there is no scalable storage layer out there these days. But we at Xandeum are working on that. We are building that scalable storage layer. If you want to know more, go to xandeum.com and check out the Discord icon on our website. On the top right, you see the Discord icon. And click that and join our Discord server. And there you can chat with all our team. I'm on there often also. And yeah, otherwise, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks so much for watching. And catch you guys later. Bye.